The international voice of world evangelism, bringing to you the revelation of Jesus Christ. Welcome to this production by Jesus Christ, Eternal Kingdom of Abundant Life.
At the beginning of this thing, it was agreed that there would be two men that would assist the sectional leader become to a project. They would assist him in gathering the information in the sense that there's things to do like making measurements, different things that has to be correlated. They would work with the sectional leader and the sectional leader with the chief. The chief was the oversight. And that they would have with them a work order. And as these things was detailed, measured out, correlated, that they had a work order from the very beginning, and they were filling in the work order while they were doing this. And then when the thing was finished as to detail as to the section leading those 2 men that worked with them, it was to be brought in, and the chief was to put his approval on it. He was to sign it. And then once he signed it, that was the approval that everything was in order. Then it was taken to the governor, and the governor was to sign it as to prove it for finance, to see that he got his finance for it. And what we're doing, trying to get the cart ahead of the horse, and we're just saying to the governor, you fill me out a work order, and you know, and it's just not that way. Anything that we was to do was supposed to come through that process and brought to the presidential cabinet to be approved as to, it's already approved as to the project, but to be approved as to the money being released and run through the project and back down to the chief from the government to get those materials, to make sure that the governor was responsible to see that he got his material. It don't take long to do it. It's all in order. There's no problem. As you can see here tonight, the problem has been the people, not the system. If it's the system, why is there order tonight? Over at the house over here, there's a lot of problems, but simply because a lot of my men don't come out front, they get behind the steps and they fellowship and they talk and they interrupt and they stand outside. And tonight, one of the major men has been doing it. He's not here tonight. He's backslid. He's gone. And in a little while, he's gone down the drain just like a poured water here on the pipe. There's been numbers of them that have done that, and you that do those things, you're going to find out that Brother Pike is not hard, he's not critical, but he simply sees the Spirit in your life, and he's telling you just before the death call. That's what it is. Because you'll be dead. You do those things, and that Spirit's working on you. They've got control of your mind. And this thing, all of it consists of one thing, and that is the mind. Either the mind of Christ or the mind of this world, which is Lucifer. And one of them savors the things that be of the flesh, the other savors the things that be of the Spirit. And you'll find out that it's just before the death call that I tell you these things, and soon you'll be dead. And the Bible teaches that if you die in the Spirit, you're twice dead. You're not only dead as to the sentence that God has placed in the body through Adam, the day thou eatest, thou shalt surely die. You're not only dead through that, in that you have rejected God, as to through Adam being born into iniquity, but you are dead as to the spiritual opportunity of the soul, to where you can never be saved. And that means you're dead, plucked up by the root, which is your soul, to life, even life eternal. And you're twice dead and plucked up by the root, and you don't have a chance anymore. And you may try to get back, and you may try to prove me wrong, and that's fine. People have been trying to do this for many years to the minister to prove them wrong. But it always came out that the minister was right. And you'll find out it's still the same now. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. It's still the same. When you do these things, there's something wrong with you. And not only is it wrong with you, but you are a tool of Satan to interrupt order, to interrupt the things of God. And brethren, could you imagine what And then suppose you go the order of Almighty God. And I'm going to tell you this. I've been sitting here observing tonight. I'm a judge. I'm made a judge. That's what I'm here for. We are set here to judge, and the Bible says the minister is to execute judgment upon them that do evil, to bless them or to curse them. And I'm sitting here, I have to observe that. I have to live in order so that I can do that and not be partial. And I'm going to tell you, some of you have entered into this. You come into this wedding and to this supper. You don't have the garment. You definitely are not the body of the Lord Jesus Christ, which is the garment of God. Ladies, he said, put on the garment of the Lord Jesus Christ. You're not. You come into this thing with your natural mind, with your carnal mind, and your whole thing as to your activity, endeavors, all that's around your own human thinking and your own human reason. And for this cause, you are evasive to me. You are evasive to me, which is a foolish thing. Very evasive to me. So, it's better that if you want to be a part of the Lord Jesus and the kingdom of God, he is not divided. And David and I are not divided. It's just like with God. You don't get to the Father except through the Son. God has placed David in this position. I knew that someday that he would. That to make the contact, you work through the Son. But at the same time, the Son don't do nothing except what the Father says. Whatever the Father approves, that's what the Son does. And because David has made that very clear to me many times in his expressions, his activities, in talking to me and telling me what he would do and would not do. And I only say this because I picked up a couple of men, one on the left and one on the right tonight. And both of them have been evasive in trying to get around me. The others, there's another one on my right. There is two of them on the right that's very definitely in problems with this. But one of them as to a preeminent thing. The other just kind of recedes into the background. And you need to think this over. Because if you're going to be one with us, you are here. I wasn't going to comment until later. But you are here not to represent this meeting. You are here to represent the entirety of the world, consisting majorly of 5 billion people, as a voice, because this thing is all over the world, and there's groups just like this that we talk with in Kenya, and we talk with in the other places of the world. And you are the head representatives of this world activity and endeavor. So then you need to get out of your carnal mind, because this is not a carnal living. It's not a carnal living. So far as being common people, we're all common people. But folks, the whole world was made up of common people. And the only ones you find up in the upper echelon of life that is worth a flip of your finger are common people. But God has magnified them like he did Esther and raised them up, but they're common folks. And people that are not common people, they're really not they're not worth your time, because they're carnal minded and they're very, very much of a problem when it's in the act of legislation or world activity as to any capacity of life. So you think that over. Being common people, you know, the Bible said all that be of this are of good understanding. Having an education does not mean that you are of a good understanding. You can be, as the world said, an educated fool. But you can have some good understanding, and you can have some book learning that you have taken on as to apply that for the benefit of Christ and the glory of God, and it can be very beneficial. Paperwork consists of learning and understanding as to an efficiency to God. And it just depends on you as to your nature, not as to how much you know, but as to the nature that's behind the knowledge. So I just thought I'd say that tonight so that we can get started off. I'm not going to try to get into anything, but to get started off to the right start. This night has great special preeminence. Great special preeminence. And meaning as to our work. A preeminence in the sense that it has a starting point for a great world outreach, and we are the preeminent ones as to world fact. And it is a very outstanding thing as to meaning. Very outstanding as to meaning, as to revelation, as to understanding. What was this place right here that we had planned to buy before EMC got it, to build our operation right here. And they moved in, got it. God let them do that because He wanted it where it's there. And here we are after a great cycle coming back to this, having been talking about the light in the last few days. And here we are as taking over here as to the light, because we are the head of the nation. Amen. And we have preeminence in all things as sons of God. And this would be a squatter on our property, other than the fact that God's ordained it, and He's getting us the use of these things. So I said that I'm not going to get into a long thing, but I warn you not to come into this supper without the word of God, because you're going to be bound hands and feet and be cast out into your intellectual darkness and reasoning as to the wrath of God. And then you're going to be sorry. You're going to realize that this is not a game, and that God doesn't need your intellect. He needs your heart. So then let's get into this thing with our heart and do our thinking in our heart and get out of our head and quit living in our head. When you live in your head, you are the serpent and the members of His body in particular. And when you live in your heart as to faith and to think in your heart, according to His way, then you are sons of God. Remember that tonight.
Joe's my little brother, and sometimes I may treat him like a little brother because I forget that he's bigger than I am. But still, that doesn't make Joe a kid, and I want y'all to know that. Joe is taking on responsibility that there's a lot of men who wouldn't get near that they're afraid of. And those that would usually make a mess out of it. And Joe has stepped in and he has acted like a man and tried to show himself worthy of responsibility. And he's done a splendid job on many things. And I know because I'm looking at a point where I can see how he handles things. And he's just like I am and just like you are. He still has got some developing to do because he's still learning what needs to be done and what don't need to be done. And so am I, and so are you. So work with Joe and respect him as a man, and don't treat him like a child, because he's not a child, brother. He is a man, and not just a man, but an experienced man that has traveled around the world and has met thousands of people, some which are far surpassing anybody in here as to their understanding and their intelligence. And I also want to say something about what Dad said about people. You may not know this, but this is a small congregation compared to the men's meeting that we had when we was in Kenya. I've written about 10 letters in the last 2 days to men all over the world. And I am in communication with men all over the world that are representing you brethren right here to multitudes of people. And they're asking us what our desires are for them to be able to tell the people and carry out our desires in the country. And you may not be aware of this. Sometimes you're looking at something from down here and somebody else is looking from up here. But that's one thing that stirred me. When I seen over there having ministers, not just a few, but Brother Mike can tell you there was ministers, so many ministers that came up and begged me to let them have a card and begged me for an address and begged me to write it. And Brother Lynn, did you see the stack of letters that I turned in? I don't know if you personally got to see them or not. But these were just letters that were personally given to me while I was there. Not counting the mail that has come in. Brother Lynn will tell you there's been several letters that come in since we've been back, and they're continuing to come in. But just the letters that I brought back in my briefcase that was handed to me personally was a great big stack of letters. And these men are sincere about doing something for God. And like I said, I've had to make several letters in the last few days. And this time, I sat one day all day long just writing letters. And that gets real tiring because I'm not a letter writer. And it's not that it's so hard, except the fact that every word is worth more than $1 million. Because one wrong word can kill the effects of what God's trying to do there. And I prayed and God has given me strength over it. I've conquered the spirit that was aggravating me, and I was able to sit down and write him a letter. And yet at the same time, I'm a little wiser than I was before going on that trip. And on this next trip, I've already got ahead of them people. By listening to what Dad has told me, I've got ahead of them. When we're going to this Nigerian crusade, they was preparing something that would have been very detrimental, as bad or worse than the problem I had there in Kenya. But I talked to Dad about it. He discussed it, told me way beforehand. He said, you're going to be looking at the same problem He said, because the Lord let me know. At that time, there was no evidence of it. I was almost to the point of arguing with him. But I said, no, I've learned through experience to listen, because he sees further down the road than I see. So I was able to contact the people and get ahead of them, and everything is going to go just as smooth as it can go because of the man of Christ. Everything looks so good on these future crusades that I'm just tickled to death, as they say.
That the first acknowledgement as to position of life should be to Christ. That God will not have a person second. Doesn't matter if it's career or whatever it is, no matter who the person is, whether they have a lot of money or ability or whatever, He will not accept them coming and putting Him second. He won't do that. That person must put Christ first. And the job that he is appointed to as a governor requires fully that he put Christ first, because that's the only way he can function in that position. But I try to be honest with you and upfront with you, because these things come back to me and I have to face them. Now, he came the other day, he made some confessions as to the things that he had learned since he'd been here and what's expected of him, and they did not come up to par in that, but he wanted to, and he wanted to offer his apology to me. And he asked if he could set a trailer over here in the area where Brother Thomas is, and I'm just using this as an illustration. I said, Gary, you can. I said, but I'm going to be honest with you. And I explained to him thoroughly what I expected as to being up there, because I have had very much difficulty in the sense of my government's taking these things and looking after them, and it falls on my shoulder, and then I have to go back to it. So I made up my mind that if this be the case, then I'll approach the situation to begin with strictness and firmness, and we will straighten it out and start with it. And then if I have to deal with it, I'll deal with it up front and won't wait until it gets into a terrible condition. And of course, Brother Bill was asking me now about that very situation, and he understands what is to be done about those kind of things. So I just use that to say that I believe in being up front with a man and letting him know how I feel. That's why I speak as honest and frank with you as I do. There's nothing then for you to try to search out. When you say my meetings, whether here or whether the church, you don't have to try to search me out, because there's nothing left for you to find. I've done stated it all to you. And the only thing that you will have a problem with maybe is digesting some of the things I say. And I feel that that God has given me the unction as to say the right thing, that the sons of God can swallow this down and be glad, because this is food to them. And they are the same way. They feel the same way. Now, they may be babes in Christ and may not have grown into or to the level that some others have. But as they grow, they'll be glad to get it, because it's food for them. One thing I want you to understand is there's no division between me and my brethren. There's no division between me and David. We're one unit. The Pentecostals are all one mind and one cause. When you reject me, you reject David, you rejected the brethren. When you reject him that I see, you have rejected me, you rejected David, you rejected the brethren. So, if you have a problem, you see something wrong in his life, you see something wrong in a chief's life, a chief leader's life, if you see anything wrong in a brother's life, if you see your brother overtaken in the fault, you're spiritual, go to it, consider yourself, lest you be tempted also. And that in the spirit of meekness. So, when you see things, you should bring before the board of directors, you should turn it in, not to be a tale of what they call strife, or just to turn in something, just to find fault with your brother. Because you have no right to do that. You're not to receive an accusation against an elder unless it be established in the mouths of 2 or 3 witnesses. And I know that when I say these things, I wrestle against spirits. Discernment in my life, thanks be to God, is very keen, very sharp. The least ripple in the water, as we said the other night, the very least ripple in the water, I can feel it. I can tell where it comes from. I may not say anything to anybody, but I can feel it. I just felt the ripple in the water just before I said this. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I know exactly where it's coming from. I know what the thoughts are. And when I said that, it began to back off. Because the individual realizes that I do know, and so they're backing off. So that's good. But brethren, I just said that to say this. I'm not here to try to hurt you. I'm here to help you. But there's one thing that we do need to remember is that God is the Spirit like a dove. And when preachers preach, and they lift up their voice like a trumpet and they cry out, they're not trying to hurt you. They still have to have a dove spirit.
As we end this production, we trust that your heart has been inspired, your understanding enlightened, and your faith strengthened by the hearing of these words of life. We want to thank all of you who have stood with us in your prayers, finance, and labor, thus fulfilling the commandment to love the Lord with all of your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself.